Last year, 1 month before now, we decided to share our story and struggle with infertility. And I just want to give you guys hope today and let you know that it is possible. It's really hard to go through infertility, but I just want to remind you that it is so worth it in the end. And God does have a plan for each and every one of you, and it is more perfect than you could ever imagine. Here he is at 3 months old, the most perfect little nugget that I could have ever dreamed of. And if we would have gotten pregnant any month before the month that we did, he would not be here. I hope his little cute little slobbery face can encourage you to just keep trying and keep going, and you might just get a little cute little Leeland. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is McKenna and this is our sweet little baby boy, Leeland. He is 3 months old. It is so crazy. Today we're going to be sharing our infertility success story. I know a lot of people found my channel through my infertility videos, and now that I am a mama, it's switched to more motherhood and lifestyle. But I just wanted to make this video to just give hope to those still going through infertility. I know it's really hard, and I just wanted to let you guys know that I have not forgotten the time that we spent during infertility just praying and waiting for this sweet little baby boy. It was one of the hardest times in our lives, and like I said, a lot of you have found me through my infertility videos. I got a lot of subscribers from that, and you know, I just don't want you guys to ever feel like I've forgotten about what you're going through. I still get comments and messages daily from all of you guys, you know, letting me know that you're starting Clomid or thanking me for giving you hope or whatever the case is. I love hearing from you guys. It warms my heart knowing that I can help even just one person, let alone like the dozens and dozens of people like commenting and messaging me. You guys are on my heart and in my prayers all the time. I genuinely pray for every single person that comments or messages, and if I tell you I'm praying for you, then I am. I am so thankful and humbled that our story can help even just one person. So with that being said, I hope today's video helps a few more people, and I'm just gonna share our journey to get little baby Leeland and you know what we kind of went through, and obviously this is the little end result. So we were not lucky, you know, conceiving or getting pregnant, you know, in that realm of things. We did have a very hard and long journey compared to most people, but compared to people who have gone through infertility, we got very lucky. We did conceive our baby fairly shortly after declaring, you know, this is infertility. These are our next steps. This is what we're gonna do to conceive. So I'll give you guys kind of a little backstory just to fill you in on if you haven't been following along on our journey this far. And if you have, then this will just be a short little recap. So when we first got married, we're like, we're gonna wait to have kids. We love to travel, so we're like, let's just travel the world, go wherever we want, do whatever we want before we have kids, and then we can kind of come back home and settle down. So that was our plan, was to, you know, just travel the world, do whatever we could before we had babies, because, you know, everyone says your life ends after having a child and you can't travel anymore, do the things that you love, which is not true. We love taking Leeland on our adventures, and we can't wait to make memories with him as well. Anyway, that's what we started out doing, and then, you know, 3 months into being married, I'm like, Jacob, you know, I think having babies would be really fun. They're so cute, and we just both loved children. So at first he was like, I don't know, we've only been married for 3 months. And then on my side, I'm like, well, but yeah, I mean, it might take a little bit. You know, I knew I had irregular periods going into it, so I thought there could maybe be something off there, but I had been to the doctor before, and she was like, no, you know, you're active in sports, like, there's nothing wrong here. That's very normal. You're skinny and you're athletic, so, I mean, there's not really a problem here. So that's just kind of what I went on thinking. Anyway, 3 months into marriage, we both decided, okay, why not? Like, let's just go for it. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, well, then we were gonna wait anyway. So we started trying, and then 3 months into trying, we're like, okay, this is kind of taking a little while. You know, you hear of all these teenagers getting pregnant and you're like, oh, it must be easy. Like, oh, it only takes one time. But we had been trying for 3 months, so we're like, something doesn't seem right. And then at about 6 months, we're like, all right, something is kind of up here. I mean, everyone else is getting pregnant fairly easy, and we've been trying for 6 months. we started to get a little depressed. I think part of that was it was winter, and if you've been trying for 6 months, you know, like, it's hard, and everyone around us was getting pregnant. We're at that age where everyone's having babies, and we're like, okay, well, what do we do now? Like, it's been 6 months, and I had researched it, and for some reason I had in my mind that you couldn't be seen by a doctor until you had been trying for a year, which is typically true, but if you're having irregular periods, your doctor will see you sooner. So if you've been trying for 6 months, you don't have irregular cycles, you can still go to the doctor, just know that. But anyway, so we went on thinking, well, let's just keep trying and make it to that year mark. If we need to, hopefully we get pregnant before then. So then 9 months rolled around, and I remember that was really, really hard, you know, just thinking like, wow, like, if we would have gotten pregnant right away, I would be having this baby right now. Like, 9 months. That's a long time, and you don't really hear of people trying for 9 months. At least I hadn't. So I was like, okay, something's definitely wrong. Like, I'm just gonna schedule this doctor's appointment and make it for in a couple months, because there's a wait list to get into the doctor, because my doctor was only taking pregnant patients at the time, and I'm like, well, I want to be pregnant, does that count? So anyway, they did end up scheduling me an appointment because it was for fertility related issues, and they knew hopefully that we would eventually be pregnant. So I went ahead and scheduled it for the year mark, and then we went in, and you know, I got physical done, everything, you know, doctor just checked up on me, asked a bunch of questions, and they did a bunch of blood work, a lot of tests, ultrasounds. Not very fun. If you're going through infertility, you know. But yeah, we just did a ton of testing, and we found out that I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, also known as PCOS, which is, you know, just every month, a normal woman's cycle, they will make an egg, the egg will mature, and then it will drop. Well, if you have PCOS, the egg matures, and then, like, to a certain extent, and then it never fully drops. That's how people conceive. You know, obviously you need the egg to drop for anything to happen. So when you have PCOS, you have a ton of little cysts on your ovaries, which is what they call it when they don't mature all the way. Some people have those cysts burst, and it's very painful, causes irregular periods, a ton of hormonal issues, there's a whole slew of things. Research PCOS if you want to know more. But the two biggest symptoms I had were irregular periods, and I did have the cysts on my ovaries. You know, you can look at them on the ultrasound, and it's like a string of pearls. There's just a ton of little tiny dots everywhere. Instead of having like one mature egg, you just have all these tiny little ones in there. So then we knew I had PCOS, so then the next steps from there, some women can take metformin. We had thought about that if I had the insulin resistance issue, which I did not. Mine was, we did some more blood work, some more testing, and within the next couple months we found out that I was not ovulating at all, so my egg just never dropped. Someone with PCOS, it'll drop like every other month or something like that, or occasionally one will drop, but I just was not ovulating at all. Like, my levels were 0, and they asked if we took the test on the wrong day when they drew my blood, and I was like, no, that was the week that I was supposed to ovulate. Or it was after I was supposed to ovulate. So that was pretty defeating and depressing, knowing that I wasn't even dropping the egg, and that the infertility journey and the struggle that we had been going through for all this time, 12 months, 13 months, it was my fault. Like, you know, you kind of wonder, oh, is it you or is it me? Not that we'd want to blame each other, but you just kind of go back and forth, you know, like wondering. And like, this was just solid concrete evidence that, McKenna, this is your fault. And like, Jacob would never say that to me, but I just felt that, you know what I mean? Like, not that he even thought that at all, I'm sure. And just not knowing this precious little outcome, you know, you just wonder, like, are we ever gonna have children? Like, I ruined his life, and you know, you just feel all this guilt when you're going through infertility. But anyway, we figured out what the problem was, and since I was not ovulating, I didn't have the insulin resistance, we went ahead and went straight to Clomid. Our plan was to go for like 3 rounds on Clomid at the lowest dose, and then if we needed to, up it from there 3 more months, and then if we needed to again, up it from there to the highest dosage, which would have been like 150 milligrams, and we would try that for 3 months, and then you start looking at IUIs, IVF, things like that. So going through infertility, you just are used to things not going your way, you're used to the negative pregnancy test, you're used to everything just going wrong and not working out in your favor. So when we started Clomid, I was really excited and really hopeful. I watched a ton of YouTube videos, which is why I started this, because they're actually, I watched probably every single one that was out there, but there weren't too many on Clomid or on infertility, and that's when I kind of felt really led to share our story. I just felt like God was laying on my heart to be open and be vulnerable and share our story with people going through the same thing. It was one of the hardest things that I've ever been through. Not like, you grow up your whole life wanting to be a mother, wanting to have children, you know, wanting to have that title, you know, you get married, and then what comes after marriage? Babies. Like, that's just the norm, and that's what you dream of. And then to one day be like, oh wait, but this might not ever happen for me. Like, it makes me almost want to get emotional just thinking about it right now, even though I'm holding this little blessing. But it's just really, really hard to know that, okay, I have to be okay with maybe not ever conceiving a child. And that was so hard to accept. It was so hard to accept. But we kept praying and asking God to bring us a little baby. We were still praying for that miracle. But I decided, well, Jacob and I both decided to share our story and our struggle with infertility. So actually, this is October, so last September, last year, 1 month before now, we decided to share our story and struggle with infertility. It was extremely hard, and I had so much anxiety about sharing our story. Like, I didn't want to. I'm like, people are gonna judge us, people are gonna think this, people are gonna think that, like, whatever. It was so incredibly hard, but God's like, no, like, share this for the other girl crying over her negative pregnancy tests. I'm like, okay, like, I know I need to, I know you've called me to, I know that this can be a great thing, but it's just really scary putting yourself out there and being vulnerable with the world, potentially millions. I don't know, you don't know who's gonna watch your video, and just random strangers overseas. Like, I didn't want to share all of the hard parts of my life. Just the hope that I had gotten from the few YouTube videos that I had watched. I knew that I had to follow the calling, and I knew I had to share. Even though it was scary, even though it wasn't fun, like, I just knew we had to do it. But I couldn't do it by myself. I told Jacob, I'm like, you know, I just cannot do it. Like, I know God has called me to do this. I know I'm supposed to encourage these people. I know I'm supposed to bring them hope in the darkest time of their life, but I can't do it by myself. And he was more than happy to, you know, sit down. I shouldn't say more than happy. It was hard for him too. But he sat down with me and we made a video just kind of sharing that we were going through infertility. I'll go ahead and link that up here if you guys want to watch it. But yeah, we just were really open and vulnerable. It's our whole story in depth of, you know, what we were going through up until that point, and just never knowing, you know, if we were going to be able to conceive. Yeah. So we shared that, and I got so many comments and messages. People shared that to, like, the max. Like, I could not believe how many people reached out to me after that. You know, people telling me, oh, we're going through the same thing. Oh, we've been trying for this long. Oh, we've done this, we've done that, we've been there. Just so many people saying thank you for speaking up about this, because 1 in 8 people struggle with infertility. And when you're going through infertility, you feel so alone, and it's just such a hard place to be in. And you feel like everyone just gets pregnant at the drop of a hat, and you're sitting there, you know, bawling over these negative pregnancy tests month after month after month. I was honestly just overwhelmed by the love and support that we had from our friends and family, and not even just them, but like random strangers on the internet saying, thank you so much for sharing your heart, like, you've given me hope. I relate to you so much, like, just thank you so much for speaking up about this. And that's when I realized, okay, like, that is what God wanted me to do. So after we had opened up about our struggle with infertility, and after all of the love and support that we received, I was like, okay, I have the strength to do this. Like, I started making infertility videos, and one of the most well-received ones was the what not to say to someone going through infertility. I'll go ahead and link that up here. But I was just sharing my heart on my sleeve, letting people know, you know, what does not make you feel the greatest when you're already going through infertility. And people have so many comments, and, you know, some of them just want to encourage you, but they say the complete opposite of that, and they're just incredibly rude when they don't mean to be. They make you feel worse, again, not meaning to. So making that video, again, a lot of people shared it. We had a lot of support. We were very thankful for that. And a lot of people said, you know, thank you. I've never struggled with infertility, but thank you for letting me know what hurts people going through infertility. And so many people had shared our posts about us going through infertility, and they're like, me too. And that was really powerful, just being able to be that voice for them when they weren't strong enough to do it themselves, and just to be able to give that avenue to share with other people, hey, my husband and I are struggling with this too, please pray for us. And that really kind of started putting an end to, at least around us, like, when are you gonna have babies? That's one of the questions that was the hardest during infertility, is people would ask all the time, and we're like, whenever God gives us a baby. And you know, any response you have, people are like, oh, like, I'm sorry. And people don't understand how hurtful those questions are until, you know, we speak up and say, you know, this hurts us, this isn't okay to say. So I started encouraging people, instead of asking when you're gonna have babies, ask how can we pray for you? And you'd be surprised at the difference in responses that you'd get from people. But anyway, yeah, after we opened up about it and started sharing our heart behind what we were going through, the next month was October, and we had been trying for 13 months at this point. I got the Clomid. We were trying to conceive again that month with the Clomid, hoping that, you know, that would make an egg drop, I would ovulate. I took the Clomid that 13th month, and we ended up conceiving this precious little being that month. So a year ago this month. That's insane. That's just crazy. I can't believe, like, he came from a speck. Like, he was just a little tiny bean, and now he's like a grown human who is 3 months old and is slobbering everywhere, and just the cutest thing ever. But I just remember, you know, going through the struggle that we did with infertility, just wondering if I was ever gonna be a mom, and wondering if I was ever gonna have the chance to hold a little baby that was mine in my arms. And I just want to give you guys hope today and let you know that it is possible. It's really hard to go through infertility. It's really hard to see negative pregnancy tests after negative pregnancy tests. But I just want to remind you that it is so worth it in the end. And God does have a plan for each and every one of you, and it is more perfect than you could ever imagine. There are always going to be bumps in the road. Nothing is ever perfect, but good things don't come easy. So I hope that this was some encouragement today. I did not plan to make this video. I got the inspiration when I saw this little onesie sitting out, and it is, it just says answered prayer. Oh, it's covered in slobber. We got a little drooling, teething baby on our hands, but it says answered prayer. And I got this onesie when we were going through infertility. I ordered it on Amazon, and I said, you know what, God, I know you're gonna fill this with a little baby. And I just prayed over it every day and held it in my arms and just prayed that God would fill it with a baby one day. And I'm not gonna get emotional. Here he is. Here he is at 3 months old, the most perfect little nugget that I could have ever dreamed of. And if we would have gotten pregnant any month before the month that we did, he would not be here. That makes it so sweet knowing that I had to wait for him. I'm not gonna cry. But I'm just, like I said, so thankful. We're so blessed. We love little Leeland so much. He's the cutest and the sweetest. And if you want to continue to follow along on our journey, we document his life and just share all the cute little things that he does. But if you do want to see more of that, then go ahead and subscribe down below. Leave a comment. Let me know if you're struggling with infertility. I'd love to pray for you. Follow us over on Instagram. I will leave my handle right here. It's at Kenna Morgan with 3 N's. And go ahead and shoot me a DM and let me know, you know, your story. Let's have a conversation. Let's chat. I know it's hard to connect with people who have been through infertility or who know what you're going through. But like I said, it took 13 months to get this little nugget. If we would have gotten pregnant 1 month sooner, he wouldn't be here. But anyway, I hope this brought you guys some hope today. This is our successful infertility story. I hope his little cute little slobbery face can encourage you to just keep trying and keep going, and you might just get a little cute little Leeland. But your baby won't be cuter than mine. He's just so sweet, and we're so thankful. Like I said, comment down below and let me know, you know, what you're going through, how I can pray for you. But with that being said, Daddy just got home, and we're gonna go out to eat today. We're gonna go get some steak and some rolls. Leeland wants some more rolls. He's the cutest little rolly baby. Thank you guys for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe down below. But that is all for today, and I will let Leeland end the video. Ready? Tell him what we do. We say,